is a bay in a million, shining through the day like diamonds on its glassy surface. Waves of summer come rolling in. I turn my board for another slide. At sunset, the golden glow. Girls close by the fire, their faces show. Party tonight and surf at dawn, taking advantage before the winter storm. This bay will be forever in my dreams and soul, just taking wave after wave till I get old, with my friends and lover of the Langland Bay.
Hello, mate. Where are you going?
We're back.
Yeah.
Ready now?
You don't know in a minute.
No, no.
We carry on without you.
All right.
Let me put some lights on. It's getting a bit dark here.
Yeah, I'll just put mine on. Ugh. So what's up?
I had a huge problem with my iPad last week. Well, for 2 weeks now. I put it in because the battery's been going sort of down quite quickly when I'm using it if it's not plugged in. So I took it in there, they put a battery in, they said, oh, blah, 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 can't charge it, blah, blah, blah. Then they came back and said, oh, we think it's a problem with the IC unit because it's not charging properly. And he said, we tried 3 batteries. And so I said, all right. So brought it home, put it on charge, and it's up to 100% now. So I don't know what they were doing. But I bought a reconditioned one when I was there. I thought, oh, I'll buy another one, sort of newer one. And I'm still playing with that.
Is it much different?
It's got different ports, so you can put a memory stick in it.
All right.
Whereas the old ones have, what do they call, lightning connectors, don't
Yeah,
they?
nothing else.
These ones have, what do they call? Are they CUs?
Yeah, it's like oval shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they called?
It's a standard. Isn't that the standard for all?
OTGCs, yeah.
Yeah.
These ones.
All equipment's got to use those now, isn't it?
Oh, why can't you see that then?
I can see that now. But it's flickering in and out.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an angle, yeah. So that's quite, I'm still playing with it, but because you can't download anything off an iPad, can you?
Don't know, never tried it.
No, you got to send it to your computer and then try it. So I wanted to try and download stuff direct because I use an iPad more than I do a laptop. Sort of
Yeah, because there's not much storage on the iPad, is there?
Well, I don't know. I got quite a lot of storage, but like it's all in cloud, isn't it?
Oh, and if you got to connect to the cloud, that's fine. You can just store it straight up there.
Well, the thing is, I got loads of pictures and videos from from the cast and things, but you know, you for £8 a month, you can get 8 gig of memory if you want to pay for it.
I've got that.
Yeah,
I've got nearly 100,000 bloody photographs on it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I just did that thing on the iPad where it gets rid of all the duplicate photos.
Yeah, I saw that. You can download a program which gets rid of
No, you can just do it on iPad.
You can. I can't do it on my. Yeah, I can't do it on the laptop.
I got a feeling it's probably built in somewhere, but yeah, I would have thought there would be some facility for that. Yeah, I must recognise duplicate photographs and videos.
So I've noticed that if I take photographs from using my drone, it's sort of every time I plug it into my computer and unplug it, it copies the photographs across. So on some photographs, I click on a photograph, I may have like 80 copies of it.
Fucking hell.
You know, to go through deleting them, this is a bloody nightmare.
But see, no, I don't know if this is. I had a message from or Catherine Jenkins, producer, whatever she is. And because they did a vid, when they were doing the thing once, they did one for Thelma. So they just sort of mentioned her name and everything on when they were doing these things during COVID. And she said, "Oh, they're clearing up their system. They're getting rid of all these videos that they made to clear up more space." I thought the space on was sort of went on forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once this stuff's gone, it's gone, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's it. So they try now to download them to save them somewhere.
Mm.
But
I got 97,000 photographs. I don't want to get them. 97,872. That's videos and photographs.
Yeah,
There's lots of duplicates, no doubt. But what do you do when the time comes up? You're going to say, well,
Well, the time comes up, Kipper, where you'll die, and somebody come along and they'll just wipe them.
Yeah.
Look at this shit.
The day your money goes, it doesn't go into that bank account of theirs.
It's the equivalent to that biscuit tin you got in the attic with the photos in them.
Yeah.
So the kids will come up and say, "Do you know who these are?" No. They're probably their grandparents or something.
Yeah.
But in the bin.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not like that at all.
Yeah. It won't be your choice, Con.
True.
So
I'm not. I just leave a little note on the box saying these are photos are cursed. If you destroy them, you will be into some bad karma, man.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to university, I came back again. I said, "Where's that? Where's all my stuff?" "Oh, I didn't think you need that anymore, so we chucked it out."
Oh, fuck.
And every single thing I ever owned in my life had gone. My mother just chucked it all out. The whole bloody lot.
Fucking hell, man.
The books, magazines, everything. Couldn't believe it.
And I bet in there some good surfer magazines.
Surfboards, skateboards, everything.
What?
Didn't think you wanted that anymore, she said.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
there must be somewhere, though.
Mary having a fit or what?
I don't know. She didn't get Alzheimer's till about bloody 50 years after that.
Yeah. It's funny, when I moved up to London, my parents said I had the surfboard in my room then, and they were going on. They said they moved to the garage, and they said, "Did you want it?" And I said, "Well," I'm not using it. So they said somebody bought it off me from work in Langland, where I used to work for, and they had it. And I seen them about 10 years later. They said, "I used it twice. It's still in their garage."
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's still there.
Is it?
That's what happens to these old surfers. They just move from garage to garage.
Yeah.
Garage boards.
Yeah. You'll never see the water again on a lot of these boards. It's a bit like boats on sort of promenade. I'm sure some of them have never seen the sea.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you there's some there that the people who owned them have died and no one knows they're bloody there. Nobody knows anything about them.
Well, yeah, they cleared most of them now. But it was interesting. I was talking to my neighbour today, and he used to have one. He used to have it moored in the sea, sort of thing. And I said, "Oh, why did you so?" He said, "Well," he said, "to be honest," he said it was free, but then they started charging us. He said it wasn't a small, like he's going back 30 years now. He said it wasn't a small amount. It's like £200 a year. So he said nobody in their right mind is going to leave their boat in the sea there and have to pay £200 a year for it. And it doesn't make sense. He said he said we hadn't used it for 4 years, but it was all right. It was there. It was floating about.
Yeah.
But to be honest, they all looked quite pretty, didn't they? All the boats in the bay.
It did. It was really good. Made mumbles.
But once they start charging for them, so basically, they in their greed, whoever it was, I don't know, it was some council or other, they started charging for them, and have made absolutely nothing and spoiled the sort of vista.
Yeah.
For no reason at all.
There's not even many boats on the side, are there, compared to what they used to be?
No, well, I was told they're going to put some back, but I don't know what's going on there now because they put all the, if I call them the racing boats, the ones, the 8 crew boats, They put them on the bit that juts out a bit. Because I noticed today that the bikers couldn't go down there. Because you normally get a load of bikers come on Sunday, and they're all nice guys. They sort of park up there, go and have a coffee or a Knickerbocker Glory, and have a chat, and then go off again. But there was a group today heading your way. It must have been about 200 of them.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook. There was and it was not advertising, but mentioned that there was this tour in Cornwall for men's mental health. Because all these guys are all dressed up in dicky bows and
yes, right, yeah,
ties
it looks like ties.
Things.
Yeah.
So it's probably the same group of people. I think, or a similar event in South Wales.
Yeah, well, it probably was because I think they had ties on some of them.
Of course, bloody chaos because we were going into Swansea at the time.
And
they're all, to be fair, they were all sort of waving and honking their horns, and
Yeah, I heard them coming because I thought it was a Lancaster bomber or something training. So it was always. I thought, what's that? And I went to look, and I couldn't see anything, but I seen the bike going up Newton Road.
Yeah, there's a huge group of Harleys, and then there was a lot of older bikes sort of displaced throughout the crowd. Some really nice looking bikes. It looked really good.
Yeah. It's apparently, I was talking to somebody the other day, the Harley fad is dying a bit now because Harley have gone a bit up market a bit, and they're just trying to hit the sort of more expensive audience and not bothering with the lower market, and consequently there's not a chain of people starting at the bottom and then moving up. Again, another company's probably kicked themselves in the foot because
so
you've got to have a starter bike, haven't you, for a Harley? You have a Harley and then you move up to the next
one.
You've
got to get addicted to it at the bottom end and work your way up.
Yeah.
Don't talk about
the bottom end's probably about $4 or $5 grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen to this one about a story about Harley Davidson, okay? It's nothing to do with Harley, except it was a contest at Crystal Palace in London. First prize was a 125 Harley Davidson trail bike. Now, I was well into having this. So we went up there, took the team up, and I went up there. And you talk about getting robbed by the bloody Londoners. It was so biased. It was you just couldn't get a look in, everybody's saying, oh yeah, you got this, got the first and this, first and that. You had to go through about five things, And I got robbed. I got second. And there's a guy called Tim Levis who won it, and I just wiped the floor with him, it was that. No, that's rumpled my back up a bit.
Yeah.
And I could have had I imagined myself, driving home on a Harley, fuck. Shit.
Funny enough, Crystal Palace just won the FA Cup.
Really?
Yeah. Saturday. Yeah. Where was that? In the Ali Pali, or was it in the...
What? The skate contest?
Yeah.
No, it was outside.
Outside. So what, anywhere in particular?
I had no idea, Mike. It was just in Crystal Palace grounds. I don't know it at all, I've only been there once, and that was for the contest, And sort of just followed the crowd sort of thing and follow the signs until you find where the contest was. It's at the top of a hill, yeah.
Everybody knew Crystal Palace because they had the big television mast there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it's still there, I think. We went past it when we were in London the other week. I don't know if it's defunct.
I don't know.
Probably.
I think the BBC is stopping all terrestrial programming, aren't they? I believe.
So you can only get it through a dish or internet.
Yeah. So I don't know how that's going to affect the people of Gower.
I think everybody in Gower's got a bloody Sky dish because you can't get terrestrial very easily.
No, I wasn't sure because some people can't get terrestrial and other people can't get.
Yeah.
But I just wonder what happens to people who just have, You know, a lot of people just have ordinary television still, don't
I know.
they?
Still, I think you can still buy television aerials, can't you?
Yeah, but they're not transmitting.
No, I know, but they
well.
stopped transmitting, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how it all works, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't understand Wi-Fi and all the rest of it. I sort of understand the basics, but I don't know how it really works. I don't know how it gets through walls or anything.
No, it don't get through them very well.
Well,
So your
I know
internet never worked.
the walls.
Yeah.
I know that. So, but I mean, I don't understand how we send in signals down and we worry about walls. I don't understand it. It's lost me somewhere.
It's
All a mystery.
something to do with the spoofle valves.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? That's the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Malfunctioning spoofle valve definitely
Yeah,
causes.
because you're up below a ham height. I won't do it, will it?
No, and yeah, and the Hammerites are always sort of downwind, basically.
Mm.
So anyway,
Right.
please, you know what?
Please write in, watchers, and tell us.
Yeah, it'll come a time like we just had now. I don't know about you know this, Con, but we've had Marks and Spencer. You probably do know Marks and Spencers have been cyber attacked. No, again, I'm not exactly sure what that means. I presume it means and for being also that I think it was a co-op and a few other places.
And Harrods, isn't it?
But now they're saying all their shelves are empty because they can't do anything. So it's not going to be long before they're going to find they're going to need a backup to internet.
Yeah, it's called pen and paper.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody will come up with a brand new system, which will involve a little book and a pen.
Yeah.
And they say, look, why don't we just write them down there and send them to the next person, and then they can bring them to us. And we'll have that little bit of paper, and they can show us what they've done. Save everybody writing it down and printing it out 100 times.
I think you can put it in the post then and post it off.
Oh, there's no post anymore, is there?
Well, it won't be soon, I know.
Nobody's sending Christmas cards, so they can't all the post services.
Yeah.
What? Are you giving up post letters, are they?
Well,
they sold it to a bloody was it a Russian or a bloody Ukrainian or some bloody
I think it's Ukrainian, I think.
Yeah. First time it's ever been owned by a foreign company.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Whatever, they sold off everything else.
Yeah. We don't really know what it means to us. But nothing seems to have changed, but I'm sure they'll make loads of money from it.
Well, they're trying to sell off the Telegraph, aren't they?
Yeah. Going back to what you were saying about before we got cut off with the water, the Welsh Water Board is non-profit making, yeah?
Yeah.
So does that mean all the money it gets invested, or does it mean it goes to shareholders?
No shareholders. What happens is any money that's left over after they've paid out all their expenses gets reinvested in the company. However,
so who actually owns it?
Good question. It's not shareholders. It's a non-for-profit company. It's a thing.
But even non-for-profit companies, you must have an owner, mustn't you?
Yeah, you have a group of trustees who steer it along.
I'll have to look into this now.
Yeah. The trouble is, what I've heard through the grapevine is they're subcontractors because it's all subcontracted work out. They don't actually employ that many people. A lot of it's subcontracted out. And there's a very low level of competition. So, my mate got that job. Oh, that's good. Yeah, smashing. Yeah, we're going away on holiday next week. Going to my flat in Barbaya, this sort of, So there's no shareholders, but the people who work for them get shitloads of money.
Or the bosses that own the company, they get loads of money.
Well, they probably on high salaries as well, but I suppose there's people looking at it, technically.
850,000 a year.
Because there used to be lots of people who worked for the water board, didn't there?
Mm.
I mean, you even had people who used to come around and listen for leaks, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, but there was little long sticks with the ear bits on them, wasn't
But
there?
they still
Yeah.
do it because there was a leak outside the office somewhere in the village, and they've been looking to find it for months and months and months. And there he was with his stick.
All right.
Yeah.
I said, "We're looking for it." He said, "There's a massive bloody leak somewhere." He said, "We can't find it."
But the thing about those guys, they could not only establish there's a leak, they knew how big it was and where it was,
Yeah, yeah,
just by experience of the noise,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. They couldn't
Which
find
is
the stop
probably a
tap.
skill that's gone now.
Well, more than likely because they couldn't find the bloody stop tap for the office next door, so they've given him a new connection.
Oh, right.
Very,
That's
very
weird, isn't
typical.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
typical.
You can't find a stop cop.
Yeah, so put him a new service in. So if
Yeah.
he's clever enough and he finds out where that service is, he can have another spare service.
Yeah. Oh, I'm taking bets as well. You know, they just relayed the Mumbles Road, sort of a section of about
Oh
half
yeah,
an
I
hour.
haven't been down it yet.
Yeah, I'm doing a sweep of when they start getting dug up again. At the moment, the earliest one is said just before Christmas, so we'll see.
Mm.
The normal thing is, they put something new down, like they did it here in Newton Road. They put a new pavement down, and 3 months later, they dug it up twice. New gas and something to do with electrics.
Yeah, you would think that the gas, water, and electric would coordinate things to say, "Look, we're intending to put new services in this area in the next few years. You know, should we try
Yeah.
and coordinate it? Should we dig one hole instead of three and relay 3 lots of road?" No,
Yeah.
they
And
don't.
most of the thing, they are like the council. When I was talking to them about roads, they are about 2 years in advance, like for their major works. Well, what's going to be redone and everything, so they know.
Well, of course they do, but they don't. They don't ask anybody else what they're going to do.
Well, it's there, but you think that sort of electric companies and things like that would be, have a look.
Yeah, well, they're firefighting again, aren't they? Because they can't catch up with what they got to do.
I don't know. I noticed down in the cut-in, people were complaining the lights were out there. So they've run a big plastic temporary pipe now that's, to supply the lampposts. Big blue pipe sort of stuck up the sort of the mountain or the wall. Not much of a repair, really.
Mm.
It works, but there's a big pipe stuck there.
I do remember my years working in the council in Swansea, just in a summer job, digging out the old curbstones. We dug them out, dug a trench. And guy says, "Oh, concrete didn't come in this afternoon. Fill it back in again." So we chucked it all back in the hole again. This is about, I don't know, 50 meters of curb in. Next day, come on, boys, up we go. Took it out. He said, "Oh, I can't get the bloody concrete in today." And fill it back in again. For 3 days, digging the frigging thing out and filling it back up again. I didn't think it happened, but it did. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, not really.
No, it's not unbelievable.
It's all quite normal these days, isn't it? You'd think by now they would have stopped digging things up. Really. They would have found a different method. Like a lot of countries now, you see them putting sort of robots down, really, don't you, to put pipes in.
Well, they did invent
a pipe within another pipe.
Yeah, well, they did invented this great machine which cut a 100 millimeter groove down the road, with one of these sort of, I don't know how it bloody worked, but it pulled a cord on a pipe underground. So it sort of went down the road, and it just dragged this pipe into a groove it was cutting.
Yeah.
Marvelous. But the trouble is, I think there was so many unmarked cables, pipes, and stuff in the road, they just carved everything up.
Yeah.
I was
working on roads. We were always wary when we're digging, like, because you never know. You have your plans where it should be, but come across cables, gas pipes, or That's the worst. It's a gas pipe when you hit one of those. But a water main is great. Is a good fun one.
Well, that job I did down in Oxford's Cross, the building inspector came on site. He said, "Oh, you can't put the foundations down there." He said, "There's a drainage pipe going through the site." I said, "What?" I said, "There isn't." Yeah, he said, "According to my map, there is, because behind the house was a pumping station." So I had to submit another set of plans to move the extension somewhere else. In the meanwhile, we tried to find out where the drain was. Welsh Water didn't have a clue and couldn't find out. So we got a private company in to find out where the actual drain was. Nowhere near the bloody site. It was down the main road. And then someone from Welsh Water said, "Oh, yeah, hang about. Yeah, I think we did do something in the road," he said. I said, "Yeah, he put a new bloody mains in." "Oh, right, okay." But it cost the client a bloody fortune because they didn't know what it was. So my client had to do their work for them. Bloody madness. And it's the same for all the services. Nobody knows where they are.
Well, but what's really clever, isn't it? I think where they put the underground in, like in London, and they digging up between other railway lines and other
It's very clever how they do it.
You know, and it's a big hole, isn't it? They dig it.
Hmm.
It's like it's probably, what is it, about 40-foot diameter or something?
They're not little ones. And they all crisscross each other as well. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
You've done it all.
It's amazing, and that's all done by machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
What amazes me when you see the work like that in big serious work in big towns, like and they got to dig up all this stuff. Imagine all the lorries that have to come and go.
Yeah.
With the circulation of town as well,
Yeah.
That must be a nightmare.
Well, they do it. They've done God knows how.
Yeah, they do it, but it's a very slow process.
Mm.
Like these machines that are cutting things are sort of going around like this, really slowly sort of thing. And they just sort of moving like 4 foot a day or something. So I don't know how much dirt they get out when they do it. Probably not an awful lot, is it?
Yeah.
But because they leave them there now as well, don't they?
Mm.
Leave what there?
The machines.
Oh, I don't know about that. They cost pretty tens of millions of pounds.
No, they leave them there.
Tunnelers. Yeah.
They take out the front bit, which has got I call them the teeth. I don't know what they call it. And they take that bit out, but the rest of it, they burrow in and it just leaves it there.
All right.
It costs more to take it out than it would be to sort of because if you go to take it out, you got to dig a big hole then up to the surface.
See, one of the problems in London is people have been, because you can't build anywhere, they've been building down, digging huge basements out.
Yeah.
And people don't check to see what's underneath. It could easily dig into, on top of something. And there's one guy, there's a mansion.
When I was working there, we had one in Holborn, and they done down. We didn't do it. Somebody else did, but they dug down 2 floors, and it was all tanked, and the water main burst, and of course it all filled up with water because the water couldn't get out anyway. Swimming pool, 2 floors of swimming pool. So they had to pump it all. It took 4 days to pump it out. It was about 3 hoses in it.
Jesus.
But with the water main, I couldn't believe the water main, how much water comes out of those mains.
A lot.
Yeah.
There's a couple in London who've just been fined for doing this extension in their grade 2 listed building. They've gone down 2 floors. And the council have said, right, you're going to have to fill it up, have to remove everything that's down there, which is a swimming pool and a cinema and, all this sort of caper. And they've got to fill it full of concrete. Very expensive.
They were doing that. Well, loads of them around Fulham and Chelsea.
They had to stop it in the end because it was getting out of hand.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Destabilising, half a street because you've dug down such a massive bloody hole.
Well, yeah, but everything was. I mean, it was also what do they do? There's no grass anyway now, is there, for any rainwater to escape?
No, that's right.
The water always all runs down the drain, every drop of it now.
Mm.
And that's out straight out of the Thames, isn't it?
Yeah.
More or less. Because apparently I've heard that it's so confusing that some places the sewers and the water waste and everything it all sort of mixes up somewhere.
Well, it does quite often because some of the old drains it's foul and surface water.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, my son-in-law worked for Thames Water, and he said that the water actually, when they say people say, "Oh, I've drunk someone else's piss water," he said it is. It goes through and gets recycled.
Aren't we drinking the fifth load of piss now?
Yeah,
Somebody
probably.
worked out.
Yeah.
Water, there's people that have been here. Yeah. I used to go down to Kew well, I didn't live far from Kew, and they're the station there, by Hampton Court, actually. And I think I've mentioned this before, all along the edges was always fruit growing.
Yeah.
Like tomatoes or blackberries, things, because the seeds used to sort of go there, and that's where they started growing.
We'll be getting that in Langland and Castle soon then.
Yeah, I mean, it's but I find it this odd about Langland and Castle.
They shouldn't be discharging this time of year.
There's been no rain, is there, for like 2 weeks?
Months? Oh, quite a long time.
Yeah.
Probably some guy saying, I wonder what happens when I touch this button. Yeah. We haven't touched this one for a long time.
They've been doing it for so long, Con, and not been reported. Now that it's been reported, that people are noticing it now.
Yeah.
People are on it all the time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is a good thing, I think.
About bloody time too.
Yeah, but as you said, there's nothing they're going to do about it.
No, they don't have any money because they've said that. You know, if we pay the fines, it'll just take us longer to get it fixed.
And so these days now, do you have to have your rainwater and your bath water separate or not?
Yeah, oh God, yeah, it's been that for a long time. All new dwellings for quite a few years.
So what happens if you don't have that?
You've got to build a septic tank system or a reed bed system,
but most of the houses here, the bathrooms and everything, go back into the drains.
Yeah, well, they will do because they'll have a single pipe system.
When we built over here, you gotta have the filtration system, and all the wastewater goes into the ground, and with a little septic tank, well, a big septic tank, in fact. And then it all drips out into the ground underneath. There's a system of pipes that go out and whole little holes.
You could do that in a small place. You can't do it like with 30 million people, can you?
Well, no.
It's one of the biggest problems they've got of building is 1.5 million homes.
Yeah.
First of all, you can't get enough electricity in or fresh water in, and then you can't get rid of all the dirty water because there's just not enough capacity in the systems.
No. And most of the stuff that we got in Swansea was done in Victorian times, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if they built anything new since then.
They did that one up to Mumbles, didn't they? When the main pipe went down King Edward's Road or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's just been and what probably still is gets pumped straight out into the sea.
Yeah.
Far out, somewhere far out.
No, I don't think it's that far out. It's probably, I'd say it's level with sort of Mumbles Lighthouse.
Bloody hell.
You can see where they were building the platform when they did it. It looked like an oil rig. And they pulled it out, didn't they? So, but the only thing is, I always thought when that was done in the first place, it's going to go up and then down. It's just going to stay like that all the time, isn't it?
Up and down.
It's not going to sort of. It doesn't sort of all go out into the Atlantic suddenly.
No.
So,
yeah, it goes into Swansea Bay, then out again, then back in again, and back out again.
Exactly, yeah. So it's not actually. It's only what the plankton and everything removes.
Yeah, there's a limit to how much it can actually.
Yeah, I presume so. I mean, I don't know I don't know the major thing, because what happens is it's like what happened in the tower before, when all the heavy metals drop down, don't they?
Yeah.
And the other stuff is okay. That's sort
Yeah.
of eaten by fish or whatever sort of thing. But the heavy stuff is there.
Yeah, fish in those days were better off when they drink it, eating all the heavy metal, because now all they eat is microplastics.
Well, yeah,
They can get rid of a lot of the heavy metals. One of the biggest concerns now are the, apart from microplastics, which they can't take out at the filtration stage, is all the chemicals from drugs that people take,
yeah,
because they don't break down, these forever chemicals.
yeah. But the good things, you'll have no fish with headaches.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true. Imagine a shark not getting this hit, man.
Well, there's so many, pills going in the sea, and like contraceptive pills, that the fish, they're not producing more fish because they can't get pregnant.
They started producing humans. All the humans just walk around in circles. 1 year ago.
Well, that's interesting. So the hormones that are going out are stopping fish breeding as well.
Yeah.
So they're the same hormones as we do then, presumably.
Well, it's just contaminating everything. It's a combination of all these chemicals. They don't break down.
So putting all this sewage out doesn't actually attract more fish then, does it?
Well, the sewage probably does, because they think, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. But they're eating all the rest of the stuff, which isn't quite so good for them.
Because there was always signs in Swansea, wasn't it, not to eat the mussels and everything.
Cockles.
Yeah.
The cockles. I mean, people did used to take cockles off Swansea Beach all the time.
Yeah.
And people used to take mussels down the docks, I think.
The Pencloud cockles, are they edible now? Because that was shut down for a few years.
Well, I don't think there's any cockle women now, is there? Do they collect them there?
There's still a cockle factory there. I don't know what happens.
Maybe they just do them in the factory now, not on the sort of in the sort of sea.
Where do they get them from?
Huh?
Where do they get the cockles from?
Well, maybe they got a
Pencloud.
farm. Have they got a cockle farm?
No, there's no cockle farms down there.
No.
These to get them off.
Cockle farm.
Well, you have farms for everything now.
Yeah.
Like the seaweed we get to eat here comes from Scotland. Where there are farms
Seaweed
up there.
farm.
Seaweed farms, yeah. So it's everything's a bit weird, isn't it? It's like I don't know. Have you seen any of these salmon farms and things that they have? Because they used to export a load of it to Japan, but because the salmon in farms isn't as good as the salmon they get from the wild salmon.
Yeah.
Apparently, so they're not buying it anymore.
Less than a minute, boys.
No.
Yeah.
Go on tonight, boys. Excellent. Enjoyed that tonight.
Anything exciting happening next week, Kip?
No, bank holiday, family coming down. Probably be busy, but I should be able to get on Sunday night.
Is it next week, the bank holiday?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't it? When's the end of the month?
27th, isn't it?
What's the date today? 19th.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, could be.
Is that Easter bank holiday?
May Day.
May Day.
May Day. Oh yeah.
Workers' Day.
That's on the 1st of May, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's on.
1st of June this time, I think.
I think it's the 27th. I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, okay.
Like diamonds on its glassy surface. Waves of summer come rolling in. I turn my board for another slide. At sunset, the golden glow. Girls close by the fire, their faces show. Party tonight and surf at dawn, taking advantage before the winter storm. This bay will be forever in my dreams and soul. Just taking wave after wave till I get old with my friends and lover of the land.